All right, we have SMU coach Tim Jankovich and a trio of seniors, including Kendric Davis, Emmanuel Bandoumel, and senior Marcus Weathers. We'll have Coach give his opening statement, and then we'll go out to the room for questions. If you guys can raise your hand, we'll get a microphone over to you. And those of you on our Zoom as well, we'll go to you guys one at a time if you could raise your hand on the Zoom side. But Coach, we'll start with you.
Proud of our guys. Heck of a performance. First round, elimination tournaments. You never know how guys are going to react, and I couldn't have been happier with 90-some% of what went on. I've coached a long time, and added to this, Tulsa. Well, let me say this, Tulsa, I want to give a lot of credit. They played outstanding yesterday to beat Wichita. I was so impressed with them yesterday, and they started out pretty impressive today. Tulsa is top 20 in the country in forcing turnovers, and that was not a huge emphasis of ours, but something we talked about, that we need to be strong with the ball. I don't think I've ever coached a team that had 3 turnovers in a major college game, let alone a postseason tournament game with as much as on the line. So start there, that was a phenomenal performance. I thought our defense most of the night was great. I thought our effort was great, made a few mistakes, but we shared the ball, lots of assists, and just, feel great. I mean, I couldn't have hoped for a better game in the first round.
All right, we'll start with questions in the room. If you could raise your hand and wait for the microphone for asking away.
Tim, you said with first games in conference tournaments, you really, especially after a bye, you never really know how your team's going to react. I guess when did you kind of gain confidence that tonight was going to be, as good of a night as it turned out to be?
Yeah, it just felt good early. Sometimes you can. When a team has played, my experience is there's a plus minus being the team in Tulsa's situation. The plus obviously is they've already gotten the feel of we're in a conference tournament, the pressure that goes along with that. They won a game, they gain confidence. The next night they're playing again, and usually there's a comfort in that. Of course, the downside of that is you're not as fresh as the other team. But so in a first round, I think first rounds are the hardest. I always have, because you just don't know if your players are going to get comfortable quickly. And I could tell we were comfortable early. So I did feel good. Really, the first 3, 4, 5 minutes, I could tell that we were, we were in the right mindset. And so I didn't know that we would play as well for the whole game that we did, or certainly the second half, but I could tell that we were in pretty good shape early on.
Kendric, you finished with 24 points and obviously struggled with your shot in the first half. Coming out after halftime, what do you go through in your head to try to shake out of that and get back on track for the second half?
Nothing. My teammates just told me keep shooting. I had great looks, and this ain't my first half. I went, struggling. I done had a couple halves like this. So, you just keep shooting, and eventually one either go in or they don't. But I'm gonna stay aggressive.
They told you to keep shooting, huh? I almost told you to quit shooting. So that's good. You gotta listen to your teammates, for gosh sake.
That might be a career high.
Any other questions in the room?
Sure.
Hey, Coach, could you just talk about the performance from Michael Weathers tonight? He finished with 12 points, 7 blocks, 5 rebounds. What was it like to have those kind of stats on the defensive end tonight?
He has 7 blocks. Oh my God, I hadn't seen that yet. I had not digested this. The Twins, as you well know, they stuff stat sheets, and per inch, they get as much done as maybe anyone in the country. Michael, certainly, you got to admit, even Marcus, you got to admit, per inch, Michael's got to be the best shot blocker in America without a doubt, let alone just period. But I've never seen a guy with a better knack, or a 6'3" that can do that. But, he's had double-figure rebounds. He's had 7 blocks is just amazing. He scores, he drives, he does so many things. The Twins have a knack for that. Emmanuel's been fantastic all year long. Emmanuel doesn't get enough credit, not near enough credit in my mind, and a lot of others. I know his teammates would say the same. So we're lucky. I'm lucky. I've got some outstanding players that have outstanding courage, have outstanding competitive fight, and I kind of figured that out in June, really, when we first started out. I could see that these guys are a little bit different, and they've been fun to coach, but they bring a lot to the table, all of them.
When you face a team for a third time in a season, how do you balance wanting to continue what worked well the first two times as opposed to adding something new, adding new wrinkles to give the other team something to think about?
Well, you know, in this case, we didn't know who we were going to play, which is another tricky thing in our position. Of course, the other team only has one day to prepare for us. Tulsa or Wichita, they win the game. They have to do what we're doing, is scramble to prepare, which is really the whole conference tournament. That's what it's about. So, you know, you're not going to probably change too much because you don't even know, and especially like Wichita's mainly a man-to-man, Tulsa's mainly a matchup zone team, so they're not even complementary of each other. So we weren't going to change much, maybe one or two little tiny things, but we just wanted to make sure that we know what we were going to do, what we've been doing, what we feel works against them, what we don't, and our guys in short period grasped a lot, and they had a good memory as well of you know, some of the things that we covered when we played them last time.
Marcus, Tim's talked before about how the bubble really doesn't exist. It's kind of something that we in the media kind of just, you know, kind of make up, you know, as time goes on. But if there's been a team that's been quote unquote the epitome of a bubble team, it's kind of you guys. And with that, it feels like a lot of pressure would come from that, at least from the outside. I'm just curious, do you guys feel pressure, you know, knowing, you know, what's at stake, you know, from the outside world, you know, that you guys are on the bubble, quote unquote? Do you feel pressure, or is it just, you know, go out and take care of the conference tournament games?
No, we don't feel no pressure. I think it's just one game at a time. We just control what we can control. We just go out there and play hard and live with the results.
Emmanuel, to have the night you did to kind of help the team through that first half when KD was still finding his shot. I mean, do you guys just pick each other up and say, okay, you got this, I got this, let's just keep this thing going? And what does that say about the depth on this team overall?
I mean, like you said, it's just about like everybody picking each other up. Like, you know, not everybody gonna have a good game. Somebody is just switching up. Like sometimes it's Marcus, sometimes it's KD, sometimes it's like Mike or me or Zach. So it will change every time. You know, we got a great team, we got talent. It's just about like being ready all the time when your name is called. And we do a good job about that. You know, find the hot hand. Like in the first half, it was me, and then I switched up to KD. And you know, it's just about finding the hot hand all the time and picking each other, like you said.
Coach, you've talked all year about managing the minutes for Tristan Clark, and you got 10 and a half out of him tonight. Did you limit him more than you wanted to, knowing that you may have to play him again tomorrow if you got the result you wanted tonight?
You know, we're hopeful that he could play throughout the tournament. At the same time, you know, Tulsa went small for a good part of at the end, or otherwise I would have played him more and Frank more, honestly. But they went to a very small lineup. Started putting Horn at the 5. That's a pretty tough match, you know, for Tristan or Frank or Jamar. So that actually extended some minutes maybe that we would have liked to have been rotating more. But the plan was a little bit more for all the big guys, honestly. But the game dictated that way, and you know, we're just trying to. I'm not trying to look too much in, you know, we got to win this game first, and so we just try to make sure to do that. But hopefully he'll be good tomorrow, and if we're fortunate enough, hopefully he'll be good for Sunday as well.
Go to the guests on the Zoom. We're going to go first to Dan.
Coach, just what you can say, I mean, taking a look at this season as a whole, and, you know, the players were asked if they feel anything of that bubble, just how you view this team with 23 wins at this point, 30 games, and moving on from here with an opportunity to fight for a championship in the AAC.
Well, I guess my first thought is, will anyone care what I think? Because if this will help the cause, I'll be happy to share exactly what I think. And that's a good question. I'm going to share it anyway. I always hate hearing coaches whine and complain, so I don't want to whine and complain. But we're in a really tough league. I mean, this is a high level, high major basketball conference, And we just finished one game out of first place. And to not even be in, like, I don't understand. And again, this isn't the committee speaking. We don't know what the committee's gonna do. This is, you know, we listen to one or two guys that have expertise, and maybe they do. Maybe they're connected to the, I don't know. I don't really know exactly how it works. What I do know, to answer the question, is it baffles me that a team could be in second place, one game out of first, in a league of this quality and not already be in, and then, you know, well, I'll stop it there, because I'm certainly not trying to get anyone else out, but I just think these guys deserve to there shouldn't be a bubble, in my opinion. We should not even have that discussion, in my opinion. But, as I said at the beginning, I don't think anyone cares a lick about what my opinion is. So I only said it because you asked the question.